Hi everyone, welcome back to Hello English Studio. I'm Emily.
And I'm Paul. Today, we're talking about something that almost every English learner has experienced.
You study for months, even years, but when it's time to speak, nothing comes out. You know what, Paul? I practiced English every single day for 6 months.
That's great. So you must be fluent now, right?
I wish. I practiced, I repeated, I memorized words, but when I tried to speak, my mind went blank.
6 months of hard work and still silence?
Exactly. That's when I realized maybe I was practicing the wrong way. In the beginning, I was so excited. I had a plan. Every morning, I would listen to English podcasts, repeat every sentence, and record myself speaking.
Wow, that sounds like a perfect routine.
Yeah, I even stuck post-it notes everywhere in my room. Table, window, light. I wanted English to be part of my life.
That's really dedicated. So what happened during those first months?
At first, I felt like I was improving fast. I could understand YouTube videos better. I even started thinking in English sometimes.
That's awesome. So you felt confident?
For a while, yes, I thought this is it. I'm finally getting better. But then I tried to talk to a real person.
And?
My mind just stopped. I couldn't find words. Everything I'd learned disappeared. I froze.
Ouch. That's the worst feeling, when you know the words, but they just don't come out.
Exactly. I thought maybe I was just nervous, but it kept happening. Every time I spoke, I felt stuck.
That must have been frustrating.
Yeah, I'd go home, practice again, repeat the same dialogues, read aloud for hours, and the next day, same result.
So you were working hard, but not moving forward.
Exactly. It felt like running on a treadmill. Lots of effort, no distance.
That image says it all.
Every day I told myself, tomorrow will be better. But deep inside, I started to lose confidence.
So, Emily, after 6 months of practicing every day, what do you think went wrong?
Oh, so many things. Looking back now, I can see all the mistakes I made. And maybe other learners are making them too.
Let's talk about them. Maybe someone watching this can avoid doing the same.
The biggest one? I spent too much time learning, not using.
You mean studying instead of practicing?
Exactly. I watched grammar videos for hours. I learned all the tenses, sentence patterns, and vocabulary lists. But when I had to speak, I froze.
That's because your brain was full of information, but your mouth never practiced.
Right. It's like reading about swimming every day, but never jumping into the pool. Another mistake. I memorized words like a robot, hundreds of them, but I never learned how to use them in real life.
So you could recognize the word, but not use it in a sentence?
Exactly. I knew the word confidence, but when someone asked me, do you feel confident speaking English? I froze again.
Yeah, I see that a lot. People know thousands of words, but they never connect them in real conversations.
Exactly. English isn't a list of words, it's connections between them.
What about listening? Did you practice that part?
Oh, yes. I listen to English every day. Podcasts, YouTube, even English songs. But here's the problem. I was a passive listener.
You mean you listened but didn't respond or repeat?
Exactly. I thought listening was enough, but it's not. You can't become a speaker by just listening, just like you can't become a singer by only hearing songs.
That's such a good point. Listening with speaking is what makes progress.
Oh, and this one's huge. I always thought in my own language first. Then I tried to translate everything in my head.
That's super common, but it slows your brain down, right?
Exactly. By the time I finished translating, the conversation had already moved on.
So your brain was busy translating instead of communicating.
Right. I was focusing on being correct, not being connected. And maybe the biggest mistake, I wanted to be perfect before speaking.
Oh, perfection. That's a dangerous trap.
I was scared of making mistakes. Every time I spoke, I kept correcting myself. It killed my confidence.
That's why fluency never comes. Perfection stops you from practicing.
True. I realized people don't remember your mistakes, they remember your effort to connect.
That's such a beautiful realization.
After 6 months of doing all that, studying, memorizing, listening, I still couldn't hold a real conversation.
So what happened then? Did you almost give up?
I almost did. One day, something happened that changed how I saw English completely.
So after 6 months of trying so hard, you said something happened that changed everything. What was it?
It happened on a normal day. I was walking home from work when a tourist stopped me on the street.
Oh no, I can already guess what's coming.
Yeah, he smiled and asked, "Excuse me, do you know where the train station is?"
Simple question. Easy, right?
That's what I thought, but my brain just froze. My heart started racing. I understood the question perfectly, but I couldn't answer.
That's the worst kind of silence.
Yeah, I just pointed in some random direction and smiled awkwardly. He said thank you and left. I stood there thinking, 6 months of learning, and this is all I can do?
That must have hurt your confidence.
It did. That night, I felt like giving up. I thought maybe English just wasn't for me.
But you didn't stop.
No, I didn't. The next morning, something clicked. I realized maybe the problem wasn't me, it was the way I was learning. I kept training my eyes and ears, but never my mouth.
That's a great way to put it. You were studying English like a student, not practicing like a speaker.
Exactly. I realized speaking isn't about knowing, it's about doing.
So, what did you do differently after that day?
First, I stopped chasing perfection. I gave myself permission to make mistakes.
That's huge. Most people never get past that fear.
I started talking to myself out loud. I described everything I did. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making breakfast. It felt silly at first, but it worked.
That's actually one of the best methods, thinking and speaking in English at the same time.
Yeah, I also started recording short voice notes on my phone every night, just 1 or 2 minutes talking about my day.
That's perfect practice. It's like building a habit slowly, naturally.
And then I found a small speaking group online. Everyone was a beginner, so we laughed a lot and made tons of mistakes together. But this time, I didn't feel ashamed.
Because you were finally using English, not studying it.
Exactly. The more I spoke, the less I cared about grammar, and surprisingly, the more natural I sounded. One day, a foreigner asked me for directions again, and this time I answered. Not perfect, but confident.
Oh, that must have felt amazing.
It really was. I realized fluency isn't magic, it's courage plus repetition.
That's beautiful. So, after all, the real change wasn't in your English, it was in your mindset.
Exactly. I stopped chasing perfect English. I started chasing real communication.
That's such a powerful message, Emily. I think a lot of people watching this needed to hear it.
I hope so. If you're still learning and feel stuck, remember it's not that you can't speak, you just haven't practiced the right way yet.
Perfectly said.
Thanks. I learned it the hard way, but now I'm finally speaking for real.
So, Emily, after all that, what's the biggest lesson you've learned from your 6 month journey?
I think it's this. You don't learn to speak English by studying harder. You learn to speak by using it.
That's a simple truth, but it hits hard.
I used to think fluency was about grammar, perfect pronunciation, and knowing all the words. But fluency is actually confidence built through small moments.
Small moments? Like what?
Like saying hello without fear, ordering coffee in English without overthinking it, telling a short story, even if it's full of mistakes, and laughing about it.
That's beautiful. It's those tiny wins that build confidence, one step at a time.
I also learned something about patience. Everyone wants fast results. I did too. But learning a language is like growing a tree. You can't see the roots, but they're growing every day.
That's a great metaphor. The roots are your daily practice, right?
Exactly. You don't always notice your progress, but it's happening. Slowly, quietly, until one day you realize you're speaking without fear.
So, what would you say to someone watching this who's been learning English for months but still can't speak confidently?
I'd say don't be too hard on yourself. You're not failing, you're just learning the long way, like I did.
That's comforting.
And don't wait until you're ready. You'll never feel ready. Start speaking now with the English you already have,
Even if it's broken English?
especially if it's broken. That's how it gets better. Every word you speak is one brick building your fluency.
That's such a great image.
It's true. The first sentence is always the hardest, but the second, third, 10th, they all get easier.
You know, Emily, your story reminds me that learning English isn't about perfection. It's about connection.
Exactly. And connection starts when you stop judging yourself and just start talking.
So, if someone's listening right now feeling discouraged, what's one thing they can do today?
Record yourself speaking for 1 minute, just one. Talk about your day, your feelings, your breakfast, anything. Don't worry about mistakes. Tomorrow, do it again.
That's beautiful, simple, doable, and powerful.
Yeah, because fluency doesn't happen in a day. It happens in moments like that, repeated over time.
Thank you for sharing your story, Emily. I'm sure many people can relate.
I hope so. If you're watching this and you've ever felt stuck, frustrated, or afraid to speak, just remember you're not alone.
Keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep speaking, even if it's just one sentence a day.
Because one day you'll realize you're already speaking English without fear.
And when that day comes, don't forget to come back here and tell us your story.
Exactly. Share it in the comments. We love hearing your journey.
This is Hello English Studio, where we speak, learn, and grow together.
See you in the next episode. Thanks for listening to Hello English Studio. If today's story inspired you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more real English conversations.
Remember, don't chase perfection. Chase connection. You're doing great. One word, one story, one day at a time.
See you in the next video, and until then, keep speaking English with confidence.